Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Grid Girls Down Under. It's episode 11 and we're discussing a lot of things. I'm joined by Lucy, Jack, Sam, and Zoe, so kind of got the whole squad together. So we actually love that. But in this episode, we'll be discussing Spa. We'll be discussing silly season and everything that's happened since we last spoke, the Dutch Grand Prix, and our predictions and what we are going to think of the next GP, which is at Monza, and everyone knows we love a good Monza race.
Who doesn't love Monza?
Who doesn't love Monza? Monza is just word of the week. Slay.
After this weekend, maybe the Ferrari fans.
I can't feel anything anymore. I'm numb. Ferrari fans.
Numb. That's how you know.
I'd like to point out, I'm not really a Ferrari fan.
Denny fans are also just numb.
Charles fan.
Denny fans lost feeling
getting
a long
into being
time
a Carlos
ago.
fan.
That hurt. Carlos. That hurt.
That race hurt me more than it probably should have.
Jack, which one, please? Which one?
All
of them?
One we just
all
had. Yeah, all of them. But like specifically, Carlos really got screwed over.
But we'll get into that later on. But first, Spa. Let's talk about that. We had a max masterclass starting from P14 all the way to P1.
He had gone from P14 to P1 by lap 12.
Yeah,
he took the lead in lap 12.
Insane.
That's nuts.
That's insane.
Iconic.
Yeah.
I think you could just tell looking at the starting grid with that race, we were like in for a good race with like so many people starting from the back.
I wish somehow he was started. I wish he started further back.
I feel like if there wasn't the incident with the safety car being brought out, I feel like he wouldn't have got as close to the front as early.
No, the safety car definitely helped. He got to jump people off the line, and then they all got bunched back up, and he got to jump a queue.
He literally just bolted. He was, that was insane. That was literally insane. You
got to assume that people weren't really fighting as such, because he's not their race. Yeah. Why waste your tires fighting something that don't bother. Defend, but don't waste time.
Yeah. What else happened? So we had the first DNF, which was Lewis Hamilton. Zoe, anything to say?
I don't even want to talk about it. I don't remember the race because I was so upset.
You were already upset on lap 2.
It's the fact that my brain, though, I knew Lewis caused the crash, but my brain automatically goes, it's Alonso's fault because I don't want to believe that Lewis just did that.
And all the time you need to leave space.
Have you guys seen the Wikipedia update?
I wonder who updated it.
DNF reason for Bottas and Lewis. Bottas, Latifi. Lewis failed to leave a space.
Yeah, but also Bottas has the worst run in the past few races. I think he's had 3 DNFs in a row. Maybe 2.
Have you heard what Fred Vasseur has come out and said in one of the two principals conferences? Talking about DNFs. There's no such thing as luck or bad luck with DNFs.
Wait, no, I did see that.
If it's mechanical, technical, or Latifi.
That is
straight up called out Latifi.
Latifi has
been my guy Latifi.
He's beyond a meme. He is now classified as a reason for DNFs.
The reason for DNF, he is the voice actor from Super Mario.
And he's also a reason for championships. Man's just an all-rounder.
He's just an all-rounder. Oh my god. But yeah, okay, Ferrari and their strategies, why on earth would they pit Leclerc on the second last lap? And then literally
just take a second. Bernardo, defending the team's decision.
How do you defend?
You have to be brave. No, you have to be sane. That was just downright delusional.
Yeah.
They pitted him.
That was bad.
He came out behind Fernando, lost time getting in front of Fernando, didn't set the fastest lap, and then got a penalty, which put him behind Fernando.
It literally just made no sense. It makes no sense 24/7.
I've stopped trying to find logic within Ferrari.
It's not like it's just once or twice that he's tried to defend the mistake and the literal piece of
he'll say
sadness in front of him. He's doing it every race.
He'll say something about strategy it wasn't the right call, blah, 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 defend the team, and then he'll blame the car. That is the blueprint of how he talks to the press.
Yeah.
Says the call, defends the team, nothing needs to change. The car is the problem.
How do you have like literally one of the best cars on the grid and both your drivers are what, second and fifth? I think Carlos is fifth.
Yeah, George snuck into fourth.
Like how is that impossible?
Here's the thing I say every week. How is Ferrari a team that gets paid to stay in the sport, yet they are one of the worst teams on the grid?
Their calls are shit.
Yeah, literally, like worst team as an overall, not great. When they get paid to stay.
Did they forget that cars need 4 tires in the Netherlands?
We're not up to that.
I think they also forgot. They
forget a lot of things.
Keep the wheel guns out of the road.
Of other drivers.
They never got taught as kids to put their toys away when they're finished.
Clearly not. They weren't even finished. They hadn't got the tire on. They didn't even have the tire. Hadn't started.
But a team who was also following Ferrari's like horrible strategies, McLaren.
Oh my
I'm
God.
Sorry.
Danny Ricciardo on a 5-stop.
Literally not even.
How many times are they going to pit Ricciardo at this point?
How does Danny Ric start ahead of Lando and then finish after Lando in Spa? Like,
Well, that's the whole point, right? Make Danny look like he's a bad driver. Give us another reason why McLaren wanted to get rid of him. Yet it just makes him look bad because it doesn't add up.
He was gaining so much time in clear air, and then he lost it when he had to pit and then get stuck in the DRS train. I don't quite understand it. It's
all I have
just
to
not
say
making sense.
Is as sad as I am that Danny doesn't have a seat for next year, I am so glad he is leaving.
Currently, he doesn't have a seat yet.
Yes. So
that's what I meant.
But yeah, speaking of Daniel Ricciardo not having silly season, like
there is still an Alpine seat that needs to be filled.
There's an Alpine seat.
It's pretty much confirmed it's going to Gasly.
No.
There's a video. There is a video from Ferrari. I think it's Ferrari's wrap up, and he's literally walking next to Charles, and it is caught on camera. Him saying, We just have to final.
Was he not? Didn't
something
he?
To do if we just have to finalize the final
contract.
details.
Yeah, but didn't he? Wasn't it announced like ages ago that he was staying with AlphaTauri for this season?
There's a clause in his contract that will allow him to step out if a team higher up the grid comes out and says, "We want you." He's allowed to step out of that contract and step into something better.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I wouldn't be mad if Gasly moved because he needs to get out of Red Bull.
I said he shouldn't. I said that he wouldn't be at the AlphaTauri family next year.
I think you did, yeah.
See, he needs to get out of that team. Not just because I want to be right.
No,
but I do want to be right.
You want to be right.
I do want to be right.
Is what gets me is when he leaves, there's a possibility of Colton Herta joining.
Heads up,
because
none of us are pro Colton Herta.
No, they're trying to fast track his super license right now so that he can have it to sign his contract. But why Colton out of every motorsport driver literally in the world that is...
We should just, why can't they just put him through a season of F2?
No, but this is what I don't understand. You do have F2 drivers, for example, like Liam Lawson, who have not only been in the Formula One cars, test driven them, but also been in practices, but they're also Red Bull juniors. Why would you not want to promote them into F1 rather than grabbing someone who's, in another series, like in IndyCar, and he's not
in another Premier series?
Yeah, he's correct. He's not doing great, but he's not doing the worst either. He's coming
what is
8th.
He? No, I think it's 9th.
9th in the championship. But I just don't understand. You have your junior drivers. They're there for a reason. Why are you not promoting them?
Liam.
Maybe they really wanted Yuri to do, but they can't.
I am dead set certain that that AlphaTauri seat would have been Yuri Vips's next year.
Yeah,
I am
dead set certain on that.
Why would they not give it to Liam?
I don't know that I want it.
Helmut Marko thinks Dennis Helga is the next Red Bull Junior to be promoted up.
I don't want it.
He has to do F2.
Yeah, continue with that, Lucy.
I would like Liam to stay in F2, I think. I think he needs another season in F2 before he goes to Formula 1.
How long has Liam actually been in F2 for? Has he been in the same as Yuri, or is Yuri? No, I think they came in at the same time. If I'm being completely honest,
would this be Liam's third year?
It's the second or third year.
I think so.
I think it's his third year because he was in it before Oscar.
Yes,
Oscar
was just a lucky duck in that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, speaking of Oscar,
The man of the hour.
Yeah, literally.
Man of the year.
Mr. McLaren.
That man had
McLaren.
teams fighting over him before he'd even set foot in an F1 car.
Literally.
He's never done an FP1 session.
And can we just talk about that? How insane is that? He hasn't even done a practice session, and he's got a drive for 2023.
Yeah.
He's been out for a year.
Yeah.
He hasn't done an FP1 session, and he had teams fighting over him.
Yeah.
To the point where it had to go to the contract board to be decided.
Oh, do we think
the contract board had to decide custody of Oscar Piastri? That is what it came down to.
Do we think that he would do? Because he can only sub in as their reserve driver for McLaren, can't he? He can't sub in as like test driver.
Well, he probably could.
Do we think that he would do a test in the McLaren now?
Yeah, practice.
Possibly.
Unless
depends if Alpine wants to be
nice.
Yeah.
Shitty with him.
Yeah.
Because imagine like him both him and Logan doing it like America. I feel like that'd be close to Zach Brown's heart.
Yeah.
Let's face it. When's it?
Which is after Japan.
There is a chance that we're going to have Colton Herter in an FP1 session.
Don't even
because it is
please.
the IndyCar final this weekend, next weekend. There's one more IndyCar race left, which means a Mr. Herter will be completely unbooked moving forward.
I guess we'll find
Let's
out.
just say, if he is in a session, I will not be watching said session.
I'll be watching
Or if I
said
do it,
session to
it'll
see
only
how
be
much he
for Lewis.
complains.
Will he be? I mean, we all know everyone says Lewis is constantly complaining, right? And now it's George is constantly complaining, and Max is constantly complaining. Everyone will just ignore that when Colton comes in.
I mean, I
No, that won't.
George
Half of us won't.
complaining that much.
George is just so posh when he's on the radio.
He's just
I'm
too
that-
nice.
I'm dead certain he can cite the rulebook word for word.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, he 100% is
definitely.
that guy that has read
On
it.
his during his summer break, he was sitting there reading through it just to double check he knew everything for the second half of the season.
That's light reading for George Russell.
Hey,
Can
I
I
sit
just
there and
say-
read them.
There was one driver who I'd want to support after if DR3 was to retire. I think it would be George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Those are the drivers that have just a close place in my heart, a special place in my heart, and I don't know why.
It's
I don't
hard.
know why.
It's hard not to love George this season.
You can't.
though.
I was gonna say,
He's so good.
I love that everyone's loving George.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
See, he took a hit in my favorites list.
but when?
I don't know why. He just he dropped down a bit, but now I'm like, actually no.
Do you know what I think?
You're quite
really
high
just
on this list.
tipped me over the edge to love him more. I think it's
All the Danny
Inzaghi.
Ricciardo support?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is like Russell George is Daniel Ricciardo's biggest fan.
Yeah. I
And
don't
that's it.
I don't care that it wasn't his and that it was Carmen's. Still, I'm convinced that he chose to wear
That
that.
makes it.
He
10
probably
times
did
better.
choose to
No,
wear it.
it's
Yeah.
Ooh,
there's
it's-
other items of clothing he could wear. He could have asked his flippin' what's it called? Manager, whatever. He could have asked someone from the team to go bring him a jumper. But no.
Literally.
He decided not to ask. And
Literally.
just took
the way that Kim Illman in his caption when he posted the photo, there was like, oh, it was just Carmen's jumper that was sitting there and he just picked up this morning. I was like, no, he knew
Like
what
it was so normal that she has Daniel's merch. Like that's a normal thing for a wag to have another driver's merch. Like what?
Yeah.
It is really
I
good
low-key-
merch.
I low-key feel like he said it was Carmen's, but Danny really
Yeah,
gave
it was
to
his.
him.
Yeah.
It probably was like he
Like a little
probably
PR
did order it.
package.
Although I do feel like George is entering into his villain era.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm here
Like
for
when
that.
he made that call of like, I want the softs. And he's like,
Yeah.
Can we
No
talk about
regard.
everyone
Lewis
now
George.
hating on him for that call?
I do have to say I'm not happy about it because all of a sudden Mercedes just changed their mind last minute. I'm like, oh yeah, like whatever. And then Lewis completely just lost the race when there was a possibility of a win. So I kind of understand because all of us Lewis fans are wanting a win. Lewis wins at least one.
Only
race
way
every
that they
season
were going to
ever
get a
since he
win is if
started.
they pitted them both.
Yeah.
Lewis was
Also-
not going to do shit on those tires with fresh softs
Oh,
in behind him. There
no,
was
no,
not a
but
chance in hell.
It was more the
Couldn't
fact
agree
that
more.
Max was behind a second car, so it would have taken a couple seconds longer. That was
But
the
You see
thing.
how easily? Did you see how
However-
easily Max got past him in the end? Anyway,
Oh
George
my
wasn't going to be able
God.
to do squat.
Literally,
thing is,
Lewis would have been having
Lewis-
Vietnam flashbacks when Lewis, or not when, Lewis is there.
And then the way
Max
he
is
sat in
coming
the
up
car
behind him in
after-
the safety car.
The thing is, Lewis knew that he wasn't going to have it. He sat there. He's like,
Yeah, he goes, "We're
whatever."
not got this.
Gave up
He
in the
goes-
last second. He's like, I already know I don't have this.
Yeah.
Like,
But to be
what's
fair,
the point
last year I
trying?
think he knew that too.
How
What about the way Lewis was sitting in the car after though? That was full Abu Dhabi. I was like,
Oh, well, full, 100%. Oh,
That's so
I mean,
things we
100%
hate
he
to
was having
see.
more flashbacks.
so no, I see why people are upset. However, the full hate that he's getting, I'm like, guys,
It's a bit
get
much.
over it. Lewis will win another race at another point, and this is coming
Well,
from me.
we
You
hope.
know what? Let's talk about the Dutch Grand Prix, right? Because a lot of things happened in that Grand Prix. Max
I
win.
am going to be completely transparent. I didn't.
Lewis will-
I didn't watch the first 12 laps, and then I didn't watch from lap 62 onwards because I turned it on, fell asleep, woke back up, watched it, and then fell asleep.
We'll
What made
I was gonna say
me-
I'll simplify it, but like I won't. Then
What made me laugh was the amount of stress I went through on the first lap again. So not only did the race before we have Lewis crash in lap 1, he almost crashed in lap 1 again this
Yeah.
weekend.
almost
For
a little
pretty
bit
much
of
the
a
same
run-in with
reason.
Carlos.
Yeah.
Charles never found the gravel track in the past 2 races where there's a lot of gravel.
Charles.
Carlos.
Carlos.
Wrong one.
Yeah, he didn't know. He
Real
didn't.
Ferrari fun.
I don't think
How?
Carlos had time to find gravel traps with the amount of stuff ups Ferrari had in
Yeah.
that race.
Yeah.
So I woke up in the Dutch Grand Prix to a Mr. Sergio Perez running over the wheel gun. That is exactly the
What a
moment I
time
woke
to
up.
Right.
I'm sorry, but how do you forget a tire? Like, isn't it your job? You're
Apparently,
literally
F1 cars are trikes now.
Yeah.
Is that how they're saving weight?
How
Clearly.
how
The
do you
regulations
forget a
explicitly say
tire?
you're supposed to have 4 tires though.
I don't know.
Hey, I mean, they say that they're saying Red Bull is cheating, so Ferrari might as well cheat as well, right?
Let's talk about the conspiracy theories because I
Ugh.
literally posted a TikTok about this, and people in my comments were like, "Yeah, I agree with that." And I was just kinda
People
sitting there like,
genuinely believe that that was planned.
yeah.
That
whole Yuki
Hannah
thing?
told them to
If it was
cause
planned,
an issue
yeah.
for Yuki, like
And
no.
the fact that Hannah Schmidt got hate for it,
It's
that-
the fact that AlphaTauri had to put out a message to say, guys,
message.
shut
But-
up.
yeah.
You know what?
Like,
if she was a man, that
wouldn't
wouldn't
do
have
it.
happened.
everyone's
those
for
conspiracies would not
diversity
have
in auto
happened.
sp- Everyone is for diversity
Until it's women.
until it's a woman. And
yeah.
then they go, we're going to blame you.
yeah.
my Twitter feed was full of girls, female fans going, when I look at her face, I just hate her. I don't know what it is
Snake,
about her.
everything
I
like
hate
that.
her.
And
And
I'm
I'm like,
you guys were
I'm
praising
g-
her like,
what-
you
what's
guys
wrong
were
with girls
praising her like a month
supporting
ago.
Because
Yeah.
Hannah totally has time to be thinking about AlphaTauri
AlphaTauri?
Yeah.
when she is the strategist for
Why are
Red
they-
Bull.
yeah, if it was
When she's trying to win a
literally-
championship for Max.
If
Which
anyone
isn't
would have
gonna
made-
affect what
the call to
I
I'm
just
gonna
think
call,
it's
I'm gonna
so
say this is
stupid.
called Yuki Gate. To Yuki Gate, it would have been Marco. But why would they risk something as such? When
Can
they're
I
what,
just say, it
100
literally-
how far clear are they in the championship, the constructors?
literally.
It's literally
yeah.
not a threat. If that
Correct.
pit stop got fucked up and they weren't in their window and they didn't end up winning, it doesn't matter. That's
But
so
also,
far ahead.
I would kind of be like, oh yeah, I understand that theory if Ferrari was winning that race, but it was Mercedes who were so far behind, and that's not affecting Ferrari. That's not affecting Red Bull. It's
It's really
Mercedes.
no
They're
one.
gone. Like,
And even if Mercedes did win the race, it wouldn't have affected Red Bull as a whole
At
that
all.
much.
Yeah.
It really
It
wouldn't.
just
Like,
I don't get
No,
it.
no, we lost 25 points. We're still kicking Ferrari's ass by what?
Yeah.
100 and
we're
something?
still in the lead.
oh no, we're missing 25 points. that means that Max can only win the championship the race after Japan. Damn it.
Oh no.
Oh,
Tragic.
Oh,
what are
No,
we
but there
doing?
was genuinely so many people in my comments saying that they did believe that. Like, and they, like, I get it. Like, maybe if you're joking, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Hannah Margot, blah, 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 ha, ha, ha. But, like, sending hate to Hannah because she somehow orchestrated this is absolutely insane. And if you are one of those people who send hate or put hate out there for some stupid little reason like that, then you just are the worst kind of person to ever exist.
Literally, they have very sad
think-
lives.
We need to take
Literally.
into account. Look at her past masterpiece races. Why would she even do that?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
That woman
also-
knows how to build a
It's-
strategy and how to think on the fly. She has done some amazing things.
all I can say is it's because it was Mercedes fans and Ferrari fans. It's because Ferrari fans are just jealous that Red Bull actually has strategists and Ferrari has preschool
You know what?
children.
I don't even think
deciding
it's
on the day.
Ferrari fans. I think it's they're just so sad and like in their own despair that they wish that they could be Red Bull.
They're literally just
Um,
throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
Like, just get over it. It's sad, yeah.
No, but, like,
there's nothing you can do about it.
In my head, I'm just imagining like when Carlos won the race, right? None of the Ferrari team celebrated. There were a couple of people, but
Still hurts.
hardly anyone celebrated.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining all of the ones who didn't celebrate Carlos's win, just like sitting in the paddock, like hating on
Yeah.
Hannah, just sitting there, like
Going
eagerly
on F1
typing on their
Twitter.
phones because
Speaking
they're so annoyed
of-
that Charles isn't winning when it's their fault. Not
Speaking of
Red
the
Bull.
amount of people who went out and supported Carlos on his win, did you see how many people went out when he got the podium in Spa?
No.
Literally
anyone?
no one.
Oh,
You could probably count them on two hands.
Carlos, if you want me in the paddock, I will gladly support
I will
you.
be there. I
will
would jump
on
over
that
that
game.
fence.
It's just that's just embarrassing for Ferrari. Like you
Yeah.
can't even fake it. Like
Yeah.
we get it, your team's not winning the championship. Charles isn't winning races.
But it's their fault.
Who cares at this point? You're not gonna win it. So just
Yeah.
at least celebrate the races
Why
that
not
your
celebrate
team did
podium?
well in. Whether
Just
it's Carlos
celebrate
or
your
Charles.
one of your drivers adding to your constructors championship because
Yeah.
Correct.
Mercedes is catching up to you and you guys need
Yeah,
some
you
help.
They could
Watch
genuinely
them
come
come
third.
third again.
I reckon
but,
they
like,
absolutely could.
The one thing I heard from someone the other day is Ferrari at this point, obviously the championship's gone. There's no way they're getting it, either constructors or Charles. It's not happening. But they're not trying to race Mercedes. They should be fighting Mercedes at this point, not Red Bull. But they're still
Yeah.
trying to fight Red Bull. Get over it.
That's the awkward part.
Like
Their
you just start
car pace.
focusing on coming second.
Their car pace is Red Bull pace. Their strategy pace is Mercedes pace.
Mm.
So they're in
think
this
the
awkward limbo
strategies-
of they could be fighting either of them.
I think their strategy is like below. Like I don't think it even.
I actually think their
matches an
strategy is
F1
down with
team.
McLaren.
Mm,
Or as Nico said, he's seen F2 and
say-
F3 teams do better jobs than
which I was
this.
literally about to say. Nico literally. Oh, can we talk about Nico on the weekend though? He was Lewis Hamilton's biggest fan.
Wasn't
I
he?
have never
Yes.
seen Lewis fanboy, I should say, over and like Lewis like that in the longest time. He was
I
he was a fan.
I wish I got my reaction every time I heard his voice, like fangirling over Lewis. Like I felt just so much joy that there's still a bit of support for Lewis there. Like he's
I loved it.
finally building up the love for Lewis again. And I feel like, just imagine if we got content together of them too. Just a
They-
photo.
They do
Yeah.
say absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Danny Ric, if that's your motivation for taking a gap year in 2023, then
But did
you
anyone else
guys
see the
know
video of
that
him
if
talking to
Danny
Seb?
talking to Seb,
What?
Yeah, there was a video of Danny talking. I think it was Seb saying he
Mum
was
was
taking a
talking
year off.
Checo?
oh,
He was talking to
Checo.
Checo.
Oh, was
Yeah.
it Checo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
take a year off, come back in 2024.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But my
You
thing
guys, I
is,
do
if
fear that
he-
if he takes a year off, he
He's
will
not
end
gonna
up
come
just
back.
retiring. He won't come
Yeah,
back.
he's
Yeah.
not
I
gonna
reckon
come
he'll
back.
go to a
say-
different race, like different.
Danny
form of
Rick, please
racing.
come and do supercars.
I
Please.
can't.
Please.
I had this
Be-
conversation with I think it was
the
Erin, and I
Ankles
said
Reserve.
I would love to see him in supercars, but I just don't think that will ever happen for Danny Ric.
Can
I don't
he
think
heel
so.
toe drive?
Probably not.
No.
Can he?
I don't know if he can.
The man
drove that
rides
supercar
horses
once.
and drives Formula One cars.
Because if he
And
can't,
no,
then he's
he
probably
does
not going to be able to drive
motorbikes.
supercars.
Guys, he rides motorbikes. He won't do MotoGP, but he might do like superbikes. I don't think
Oh
that's
my
the
god,
right
he could
one,
join
but-
Jensen and Hunter
He
Lawrence.
could do Aussie superbikes, actually.
He could. Now, but the thing is, when Danny retires, he's fully leaving Australia and going to America. That man is not going back to Australia.
What about
He's
IndyCar?
his family.
What about
He's not
IndyCar?
That man is all American.
He's
And,
gonna
I mean,
stay
his
in Monaco.
girlfriend is American as well. So
Oh,
What about
I forgot
IndyCar?
that.
Danny Ric in IndyCar?
IndyCar.
He did get
I
offered
did think
an
of that.
IndyCar seat. Zach Brown did offer him an IndyCar.
Yeah, and he declined it.
Zach
so,
Brown offered
Rightfully
everyone
so.
a seat
as he
and
should.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going totally off track here, but Scott McLaughlin put up a tweet that says, I've got some exciting news coming tomorrow or something like that. And I went through the comment threads and even Dad's first response was, plot twist, he signed for McLaren. And of course, every single thing is Alpine's new driver, McLaren. Has Zach Brown been talking to you? Zach Brown, McLaren. And I'm like,
Oh,
this
rip.
gift that keeps on giving. I still don't know what the announcement was.
Did he announce it? No.
No, not yet.
Zach
But yeah.
Brown needs to stop promising people
Yeah.
things he can't actually offer.
Zach
Things he
Brown's
can't
dishing
actually
out F1 seats like he's dishing out seats for the whole grid. Like, mate, you've only got 2. You don't have 20. You need to stop.
And if you want, he could create his
Yeah.
own league with the amount of people he's promised an F1 seat
Yeah.
to. Create your own Zach Brown Formula One.
He'd love that.
I think
He
he
really
would.
would. He really would.
But yeah, what else happened at the Dutch Grand Prix? The George and Lewis little fiasco. Let's talk about that.
Lewis's reaction
Yeah.
straight away, the anger. I haven't seen that anger in him in so long. Like
Same.
throwback to last year.
Yeah, literally.
And
when
then
I
all of a
heard
sudden
that,
it just came out.
Honestly,
I was
and
like,
the
oh, that was a
filter.
bit whingy, Lewis.
No, I was like, the filter is gone. What is happening? And then he apologized straight after, like after the race. And I was like, okay, something is like he's stressed. Like he has to be stressed that
I
like
don't think he was
the
stressed.
team
I
are
think he was
choosing.
genuinely angry.
Well, I think it's more the thing of like he's like, oh, like the team are now choosing the now second driver over helping me, or at least in the moment he thought that, you know, it was like, oh, like
I don't. Sorry, Sam. Go ahead.
Can we just talk about some double standards quickly?
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to bring up with Bottas.
I was
Oh,
going to do
no.
2 lots of double standards. Bottas.
Please go for it.
Fernando's outburst at Spa.
Oh,
How
yes.
everyone came after him for that, about getting heated on the radio, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
But when Lewis was heated on the radio, everyone was
just like, "That's just
understanding, and they're like, "That's just
emotion,
racing." That's just
passion." Yeah.
But when it was Fernando, it wasn't just emotional heat of the moment. You guys wanted
No.
literally to jump down his throat.
It was like, oh my god, they're saying that about a 7-time world champion. Like he needs to check himself. Relax.
It's
Fernando's
called the heat of
literally
the
a world
moment
champion.
in a
I
race.
was gonna say in the like coming from me, I laughed at what Fernando said. I was like, he had every right to say that.
I laughed at it too.
I did think that was quite funny.
Every right, like it was funny, and it's not going to affect anyone. Fernando was able to continue his race. We all knew Lewis wasn't finishing the race. Oh well, get over it. It was in the heat of the moment. They apologized. They sorted their issues out.
Nando got a signed cap.
Oh, that was the funniest thing.
Dedicated to him, and then he got it at the next race weekend. But no, I'm just like, I don't get why people are so like.
They get so
it was the heat of
pressed
the
about the
moment.
smallest
Get
things.
over it. Literally.
Yeah.
If you were in that situation, you would act that way.
I think, yeah.
So
I think
why is it
anyone would
bad
be
for one
angry.
person to do it?
I would get
Like-
myself cancelled in the heat of
I
that
have-
moment.
Yeah, I have the worst road rage to ever exist. So I can't even imagine
Me too.
in
Really?
a Formula One car when
God.
someone DNFs me.
But like at the end of the day,
He
they're
didn't even DNF
millionaires
though.
driving around in funky circles.
Literally.
Like
Relax.
chill.
Literally. But no, the double standards of everyone, like everyone now wants Valtteri back. All because Mercedes gave it to George, where I'm like, yes, I'm
literally-
annoyed,
yeah.
but at the same time, it's what Mercedes wanted to do. It's one race. It's
Can
not
I
like you're
just
fighting for the
say-
championship.
I don't even
Oh,
think
wow.
it's what Mercedes wanted to do. George made that call. George is the one who wanted to go on the tires. Like, at the end of the day, Mercedes are the ones who said yes. If you didn't want him to go on the tires, you should have just said no, like you've done to Valtteri in the past.
Literally.
But then the fans are also going, they want Valtteri back. Do they not remember what happened last year at the Dutch Grand Prix? Valtteri is James, abort the fastest lap attempt, please.
Yeah, literally. I
completely
forgot about
As if
that.
Valtteri was this great thing. He was at the level of he didn't give a fuck at that point.
What's really getting me though is everyone's like, I want Valtteri back. Valtteri would actually help Lewis. I'm like, you guys are the same people saying you wanted Valtteri gone.
Yeah.
They only want Valtteri back
exactly.
because they want a
Yes,
Horn who's not going to challenge Lewis.
Exactly.
That's all they want.
And the whole point of bringing George in is so that they have the perfect driver when Lewis retires.
Yeah, a hot new
Passes
prospect
the
who's
flag.
going to be. Yeah, they want a hot new prospect who's going to be in Formula One for a while. Obviously, Lewis is not going to be there forever. As much as we all want him to, he's not going to be there forever.
I hate to admit it, I would love Lewis to stay forever.
Yeah, but obviously it's not going to be happening. He's getting what? He's like 36.
37.
37. Apologies. He isn't going to be there forever.
But no, that
George,
like,
on the other hand, he's young. Oh,
exactly,
it's
and
actually triggering me. Sorry.
I've been saying this the whole time. Like me as a Lewis fan, I mean, we all know how I am as a Lewis fan. I was annoyed after the race. However, after thinking about it and after really going through it, I was like, actually,
after like laying out all your emotions in the group chat,
I had the same heat of the moment emotions that Lewis did, even though I really shouldn't be allowed to have those emotions. But it's not the point. In the moment, I was like, what the fuck? But then if you think about it, not like Mercedes aren't fighting for the championship. They're fighting for second place in the championship. But at this point, they'll probably get it with how Ferrari are doing. But also, who really cares? Lewis will win a race at another point. He could win it this weekend. He could win it in Singapore. Would love that. But it's not the end of the world. He's not trying to be world champion.
Talking about Ferrari and their strategy, if they're not careful, Alpine will catch them, and then Alpine will get third, and then Ferrari is going to go fourth.
Oh my god!
I think Ferrari should have to be thinking instead of Red Bull, they should be trying to fight everyone else.
Fernando is on a very good consistency run of points.
He is.
And if Ferrari's not careful, it could convert into a lucky podium.
Yeah,
it very easily could. Literally, as we've been talking, the power rankings have just come out. Speaking of Ferrari to be careful of Alpine, Fernando Alonso was rated third on an 8.6.
Can I just say those power rankings are literally the biggest BS to ever exist in the whole entirety of F1 things. It is the most ridiculous.
Carlos wasn't even rated in the top 10.
Wasn't his fault, okay? It wasn't his fault.
I'm still mad he got a penalty about something that wasn't his freaking fault.
No, but
sorry.
No, literally another thing about Ferrari. How do you let's talk about Mick's pit stop as well, because Mick also got held up in the pits for like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
What
was that? What was the delay?
Someone was coming in, they had to wait.
All the drivers do say that pit lane's annoying. Like it
is the shortest one.
Ferrari's
it's the one you're not allowed to double stack on. Like you can't have someone waiting behind another car to go in because there's no space.
Yeah.
But also Ferrari's unsafe release, it was so clear that Alpine was coming in. Yes, there may have been a bit of time, but still you could have waited literally no time, because it was also clear that Alpine was speeding up in the pit lane. So you could have just waited and then it would have been safe. But no, you held everyone up by doing an unsafe release, which then meant it took longer for your team to actually get out on the track and caused more issues.
And yourself a penalty.
And then Carlos got a penalty. And I'm so mad about that, because that was in no way Carlos's fault.
They have had two pit lane penalties in the past 2 weeks. They got speeding in the pit lane. And then they got unsafe release penalty. What are they going for in Monza? What can they get in Monza now?
A drive-through penalty?
Jump start. They'll jump the start. Imagine. Oh, it was an issue with the car.
Honestly, Bonotto would blame it on the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, can this man own up to his team not
A mascot
Not
is
working well.
Our mascot is little Arlo, and
Little baby Arlo.
it is the right amount of unhinged and hyperactive and chaotic and destructive as
To
the
say the
podcast.
least.
It's
But
perfect.
the only thing that Bonono actually admitted to that was a mess, was his words, was
yeah,
the
pit
wheel
stop.
gun.
Yeah.
That was
Mm.
it. When they
Oh,
got him
yeah.
on the pit wall and was like, what was going on? He goes, that was a mess.
Was he referring to the state of
Only
the
he's
pit gun
admitted.
or the situation that led to it?
I think both. Because
And
then
so
he said
the-
something about, yes, sometimes they don't get a lot of time for pitting, and that is true. But he did mention, he goes, they should be communicating with each other saying you need to get ready. So I think someone might have got their ass kicked after that race.
Well,
What
generally,
got me, though,
when you call a
is-
car to pit in, your entire team knows that there is a car coming into the pit lane.
No, but he was saying something like the engineers have to tell the people in the pit lane that they're coming, and he goes, they clearly didn't give them enough time.
Did they just forget
rubbish like that?
that did they just forget? I don't even know.
Yeah. I was like, it was nice that you tried to like at least try and take some of the blame, but still, don't they not have headphones on?
Yeah, can't you hear most of everything that's going?
Yeah.
But also, if
Yeah.
you see the rest of your team going, do you not jump up
Jump?
with them?
You
Because
think-
you're set for each driver. Like you've got Carlos's team, right? His pit crew. Then you've got Charles's pit crew. So it's
Yeah.
like if you're in Carlos's pit crew and you see the rest of your crew running outside, you're not going to run with the tire that you're told. Like
unless they did just start running and forgot to get the tire, and it's been one of those, oh, I forgot the tire, and I have to run back again. Because honestly,
Start
that would be
running
me.
out, just
That
trying to conform with the
100% would be
team.
me. I would run out and be like, crap, the tire.
Hey guys, what are we all doing out here?
What are we doing?
Shit.
also, why was the gun so far away from the car? Like
Because they
from
were
the
looking
guy.
for the tire that wasn't there.
I know, but still, like it's like he threw it. Like it was just so far
think
away
he
that
My
it was
favorite part though was
confusing.
the guys at the other tires was yelling at the guy with no tire. just
Like,
just
what is he gonna
all the
do?
hand movements.
It was the yelling from the others and then the stress of.
gun. Like I can't do anything.
He's like,
I need.
I felt- I do
need a
have to say,
tire.
I do say I felt so bad though because when they got the tire there, they also had to change the head of the gun so that it would actually work. So it was the stress changing
Literally,
of like the
yeah.
gun to try and get it to work, and it's like,
and then Carlos is
Are we
just
gonna
sitting
get
there and he
done?
goes, oh god.
That was
Oh my god.
That was
I-
that was just pure. He was so done. Like he wasn't.
He's like, oh, I need to get out.
He wasn't even shocked.
No,
Yeah.
That was
Say
just. Oh,
again.
that
he expected it.
they had some of the funniest pit stops this weekend. I mean, Yuki's pit stop of them having to tighten his seatbelt to make
That
sure
was-
he hadn't
yeah.
undone it
The
when he
amount
was
of-
getting out of the car.
The amount
thought
of
it was gonna be
jokes I've
retired.
heard about that.
yeah.
Oh
think
my
that-
god.
But then I think it was either Crofty or Button did make a good point. Yuki probably thought he was retiring and
Yeah,
loosened his
which
seatbelt,
makes
and then
sense,
they've had to
yeah.
go in and tighten him back up again.
It's
Poor
the
Yuki.
thing. Yuki
Oh,
is saying
boy.
there's a problem. Like
Yeah.
And they won't
screaming
put
at
him back
Yuki
out.
doesn't like Yuki will scream at the drivers.
So
Whatever, but
he
doesn't
thought
really
that
scream
they
at the
hadn't
team.
No.
attached a tire. He thought there was one of the rears. He thought that one of the rears was disattached. So we stopped.
Yeah.
The team could see that all the tires were on. At that point, all the tires were on. So they told him to carry on coming to the pit so they could figure it out.
Change the tires.
He
Can
came
I
in
just say
and everything on the telemetry was normal. Then when we went back out, I'm pretty sure they figured out it was a problem with the rear diff, which presents itself as feeling like one of your tires is loose.
Didn't they change the tire though? And
They
he
did. They
still
changed
felt
all of the
it?
tires.
They
Yeah.
changed it to be like, okay, well, we'll make sure that nothing's
I
everything's
think
okay
they
here.
did it to be like tighter.
Like, okay, we're sure that the tires are on now.
Yeah.
And then when he went back out, it wasn't until they was driving off. They go, oh, okay, it wasn't a tire. It's actually this.
Yeah.
And at that point, by the time they picked it up, it was a little bit too late.
But I'm
It's
just saying,
so
if you
miserable.
have your driver screaming at you when he can, like, you can clearly feel when your tire's like got an issue, right? You're in the car. Those cars, you can feel every single movement, every single bump you go over, you can feel. So it's like if he's feeling that, wouldn't you try and look even faster?
You'd think,
Well,
and
they
with
did.
Yuki, that wasn't an
he's-
anger scream. That was a panic. yell
Yeah.
at his
He
team.
came on the radio and said that he thinks the tire's not attached properly. The team could quickly say, okay, well, it's not the tire. The car looked, and what they could see, the car looked fine.
Yeah. But
It wasn't. It was broken.
it wasn't. And like, to be fair, they risked Ryuki putting him back out. He's clearly telling you something's wrong with his car, and you're going, no, it's fine. What if freak accident, it blew up? You know? Like, you've risked it because you're like, oh no, it looks fine.
We're talking
And
about
the team who sent him back out there with a duct tape rear wing Darius flat.
That was hilarious. That is my favorite moment of this season so far.
Hasn't it always been said since quite literally the beginning of Formula One? You trust the driver more than you trust the mechanics. If the driver can feel something wrong with the car, go with them. Their gut is more true than the mechanics on the wall.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Literally.
Most of the time. There are times where the driver has been wrong, but it's not the point. Most of the time, the driver knows. The driver knows right.
Yeah.
And it's like, if Yuki's saying he doesn't feel safe on the track, that's also a bit.
Yeah. Why would you send him
Because
back
Yuki doesn't give up. He'll scream and he'll want to like swear in someone's face. I don't know. He gets really angry, but he'll get really angry before he says that he wants to give up. Like,
well, actually, funny you say that, because another place he got angry at this time last year was Monza. Monza, where he actually, I'm pretty sure he DNF'd. Did he DNF? He DNF'd in the sprint, I think. Sprint? Because last year,
love Monza.
Monza. But
once again, proving Danny Ric is a better McLaren driver.
Yeah, but let's just hope the curse doesn't get him this year.
Yeah, that's
it can get Lando.
It can get Lando.
Yeah, we just want Danny to do
that's
well.
not how the curse has worked. Zoe, it's worked.
Well, I'm changing the curse. We're keeping Danny. We can get rid of Lando for a race. I don't care.
Oh my god.
Just want Danny to do well.
We do. Speaking of Monza, predictions. Let's hear it. Zoe, you look like you're prepared and ready.
We all know every time Monza has been won for the past few years, right? It's always been a driver who's needed a win to either prove that they're a good driver in that team, to, show everyone. Who needs a win this year? Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton needs a win this year.
Do you remember at the start of the year when I sent you a TikTok and I said Lewis Hamilton will win a Monza?
If you get that right, I'm claiming you're psychic.
Please let this be right. Because I said at the start of the season, after the first couple races where it was shit, I said Lewis will win a Monza.
But it's the thing of, if you look at the track record for the past few years, like Charles winning Monza, Pierre winning Monza, Danny winning Monza, all proving, it was all to help them prove how good of drivers they were. It was to show how actually amazing these people are, to actually give them that win they needed, that confidence boost, that, everything that they needed in those years. Who needs it this year the most? In my opinion, Lewis.
I would say Daniel.
Yeah, I would say Daniel's running with the track record. Whatever team won the race the year before will double the DNF. So I'm not getting my hopes up because I'm scared. However, Lewis can win, Danny can come second, George third.
I'll take that. Oh, that seems like a wonderful podium, if I'm being honest.
There you go, there's my podium.
No, wait, what about a George made him win?
That's what I want. That's my prediction.
That's my
prediction.
Also my prediction.
Got it. Okay, mine.
Okay.
I'll take that as well.
Okay.
Sorry.
I want
George. Danny Ric merch out for Monza.
Don't tell me that. Is it McLaren merch though? Because I don't want McLaren.
Yeah.
No.
I guess they've got to pay his payout somehow.
Yeah, that's true.
No, they'll get it with the money they're getting from Alpine. It's fine.
So,
McLaren has offered to pay out Alex Palo's contract from IndyCar apparently. So I don't know where they're getting all this money from.
I want
all their seats
George.
They're getting it from Lucy.
The no comment just makes it even better.
George P1. I haven't thought about the rest of this.
Didn't get that far.
P2. Maybe not. P2. Who do I want P2? Carlos.
I love that.
George. No, I already said George. George, Carlos, Charles. Let's do that.
Where's Max in this mix?
DNF.
Max is in time.
Where?
Max is in
Where is he
turn for a
DNFing?
DNF.
In the same place he DNF last year.
Yeah.
Is he going to be
Never.
on top of someone again?
Maybe he'll be on the bottom this time. I think it's his turn to.
Is he a bottom or a top?
He's a bottom this week.
He's the bottom this
Last
time.
year he was
Apparently
the
he's
top, but
neither.
who knows?
Yeah. Anyway, Jack, what were your predictions?
My P1 is also George because I would love for that boy to win.
Slay.
I hadn't thought of this.
Yeah.
P2.
Remember your spicy P3 because we do
I know I
love
have
a
a
spicy
spicy
P3.
P3.
The spicy P3 could be a Ferrari and we'd accept that as spicy.
So she's been unbanned?
Yeah, you've been
No,
on
I'm
ban.
not
At this
allowed to
point,
have
we,
a certain-
No, you can have him P1 if you want. 'Cause
No, I'm
we're
not.
At this point, he's maybe we'll cancel out the jinx. Oh yeah, I just have to read something else out. I'm gonna try and jinx Charles for you, by the way.
Well, if I'm allowed to put him back, I'll put him as P2. I won't put P1 because that's not going to happen. We'll do P2. P3. Who haven't I done as a spicy prediction yet?
Me.
Latifi.
Daniel Ricciardo.
No, I've done Danny before.
Latifi.
No, I haven't done Valtteri, so let's do him.
Haven't you done
Let's do
Valtteri?
Valtteri. I don't think I've done Valtteri yet, so we'll do him as
But
P3.
Valtteri-
That's kind of
Getting
funny
on the
considering you came
podium.
P3 last year.
Guys, that Denny merch is nice.
Oh no.
I haven't seen it.
It's
It's
nice.
a Globetrotter one.
It's a nice color.
It's Globetrotter one.
It's green.
Where did you
Let me just
find
have a
these?
squiz.
On the
The
McLaren store.
McLaren
Oh.
store.
I think we've got distracted.
Zoe, this weekend you're going to have to physically restrain me from buying a lot of merch.
Yep,
Okay, Sam,
sure.
your predictions.
Okay, before I say my predictions, I'm just going to point out that the last time we saw anyone around Ferrari with yellow shirts was the historic GP in Monaco this year, and we all know what happened to Charles. The team was wearing yellow shirts there.
Oh, don't talk about the yellow. I
I'm
was so
sorry.
excited for a black and white moment, and
Yeah.
now they've got
Apparently
No.
the race suits are black and yellow, not yellow and black.
black and yellow, black and
No,
yellow.
you know what got me though was Lewis's color this year, right? Is yellow.
Yellow.
That's his whole color scheme. Lewis has almost been doing better than the Ferrari drivers half the time, right? And I was like, just the first thing I thought of when I saw it, well, first off, I thought Minions, but my second thought after Minions was Lewis Hamilton.
They
Yeah,
need
but
to be
Lewis is
at
more
this
Lewis
point.
Hamilton
Ferrari
copycats.
Ferrari needs to
they're-
adopt orange, not yellow. They're going backwards if they're adopting yellow.
Yeah.
They're trying to
Yeah.
get they're trying to get the energy from like the seven championships.
Isn't it meant to be like a throwback or something like that?
Yeah, I don't really know.
It's like
What's
really
75
75
don't
years
like
of
it.
vintage
Monza?
colours or something?
Anywho, I haven't actually thought about this. Um,
P1. No,
Max.
the song P. Oh yeah, P1 Max. P2.
George.
Did none of us think about this
P3.
today?
No, I
No.
forgot about predictions.
Yeah, I did too.
Did you say George P2?
Yeah, I said George P2.
Because these sound similar to my predictions. Don't know.
Oh, is Sam copycatting
Sam's
Erin?
copying me.
Fernando.
Like
P3.
Ferrari's
Hey,
copycatting.
Love it.
spicy.
I could see that with how he's been racing recently.
Hello.
We got Arlo as P1, Erin.
Yeah, I got Arlo. Arlo.
Is that the replacement Alpine driver?
It actually is. So it's actually their new driver. It's actually without his agreement that they've posted that on their
Oh,
their Instagram. Hold on, let me just go get him. I'll show everyone their new Alpine's new driver.
So excited. It's going to be a good lineup at Alpine, you know? Esteban and Arlo. It's exactly what we want to see.
Although if Pierre does go to Alpine, it's going to be a competition between the two Frenchmen.
yeah, and they already had their friendship destroyed when they were karting together.
Yeah.
They were the French Nico Lewis. I don't
Okay.
think it's going to end well.
No.
I love that you have to have the pen there to distract him.
Yeah.
It's either that or he's going to eat the headphones
Yeah.
Or my
or
finger.
everything.
So I've actually decided to put Max also in P1 this week, and my P2 is also George. And my P3, while I'm here, Charles Leclerc.
Solid.
Okay, that's
Wait,
probably
was that not the Dutch GP podium?
No.
yes.
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 Oh, I don't want it to be the same. I changed that. I'm gonna make Carlos.
Okay.
Fair.
What did I
Carlos
say? George.
means
Did I say
something.
George, Carlos, Charles? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Then I'm
George.
dreaming with that, aren't I?
No.
There's no way.
If Daniel
At this point of
and
the season,
Lando
anything
came,
is possible.
yeah, if
Literally.
Daniel and Lando came P1 and P2 last year, and Pierre won the year before, and Charles won the year before that, I think anything is possible.
Just a reminder that Ferrari win was with a car that was deemed illegal in the end.
True.
Just for those Ferrari fans out there who want to ride that wave. Just gonna point that out.
Maybe I'll say a Lewis win.
I would love to see a Lewis win this weekend, just
would-
because I want to be
yeah.
right with what I said at the start of the year.
So you're gonna say Lewis Max?
No, I'm still gonna say
No, I'm
Max.
still saying Max. But if I'm right,
Imagine,
Oh no,
Sorry.
he's got my other AirPod.
imagine us watching the race together with a Lewis win. Imagine the
either way, if
reaction
Max
you'll
or
get to
Lewis wins, we're going to
experience.
be excited.
truth, but just imagine, like Max has
Hang
been
on.
winning all year. Max is
Hang
winning
on.
the championship.
Imagine-
a Lewis win.
Imagine us being trackside watching Gizzy win in Pukekohe.
Lee.
A
Also,
Brock
isn't
win.
it? Wait a minute. Isn't Monza this weekend?
Yep.
Yes.
Then 2 weeks off, and then Singapore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it 2 weeks off? It is 2 weeks off. That's
Is
so
it?
2
random.
weeks.
When has there ever been 2 weeks off?
When they need to get from Italy to Singapore.
Yeah.
Well,
After
they literally
on the back of a triple header.
well,
Yeah,
then
true.
did they not need to get from Saudi Arabia to Australia?
But that wasn't a week
And-
apart. That was 2 weeks apart.
Was it? I thought it was
Yeah,
a
I'm
week
pretty sure it was
apart.
2 weeks.
And then it's
Let me have a look.
Japan, and then it's a week
double header.
off. And then is it Brazil, Coda,
No, Brazil is the second to last.
Yeah,
Coda, Brazil, Abu Dhabi?
Coda, Mexico.
Oh, Mexico, yeah, I forgot about that one.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
Hello.
Wow.
But
Wow.
yeah,
We're almost
Those-
done.
those were our predictions. The year is
Yeah,
almost
it
over.
was 2 weeks. Sorry.
Year's almost over. I can't believe it.
The amount
two
of
weeks.
it's 2 weeks between anything in Australia because of the amount of jet lag. 'Cause
Yeah,
Australia is entirely different to everything else. That's why it used to be the first on the calendar.
and it should be.
It should be the first on the
First on
calendar
the
because it makes
calendar.
no sense for travel everywhere else because it just takes a lot out of them.
Literally.
How is no? But what gets me though is it takes a lot out of them, yet they literally still arrive 2 days before the race weekend starts.
Sometimes they get there on like the
After that,
Monday though.
Most drivers will arrive earlier.
Yeah.
Unless you're like Lewis Hamilton, who decides to arrive 2 days before because you
Yeah.
decide to just go traveling.
What country
around
is
the
that
world,
man's
go
body clock on at this point?
skiing.
I just their body
I
clock,
think he's
their
immortal.
body clocks would just be so messed up. I reckon.
Yeah.
But can we just talk though, just quickly about Lewis and his body, about how wording about how about how that man can withstand
Hello.
ice cold ice, just chucking himself in there naked, but he can also be in some of the hottest weather wearing literally puffy pants, long
I don't know how he
pants,
doesn't
with
die
a
in that weather.
knit sweater as well as a puffer jacket in some of the hottest weather.
He's
like,
just built different.
How does
really
he
is.
handle the heat and the cold? Is my question.
He probably doesn't
Anyways.
handle the heat very well. He's probably like
Super-
sweating, and then he like gets in the aircon in the motorhome,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah,
Wait, because he always walks out with his Mercedes top on for press
Yeah.
stuff, and he's like never. Anyways,
It's probably
I
why he
always
doesn't
find
stop for fans on the way in because he's like way too hot and like sweaty."
it just smells so bad.
Yeah.
Talking about Lewis, though, sorry, did anyone see that video on TikTok of people putting their camera on his car and he's like asleep in the car, just completely invading his privacy with that?
Yeah.
No. I
So
wanna
pretty
see that
much, you know
video.
how the drivers arrive with tinted windows, depending on the
Yeah.
race, and if they have chauffeurs, they have tinted windows so fans can't see in unless the drivers want them to see in.
Yeah.
So Lewis was asleep on the back seat, quite literally lying down on the back seat, or at least he looked like he was asleep. and these fans were trying to see who was in the car. They shoved their camera up to the window, and Lewis is just like lying there to sleep.
Oh,
and I was like,
privacy.
What's up with post? Like, you didn't have to post this. What
It's
was the
called
point?
privacy. Like, if the driver doesn't want to be seen, leave them.
But no. But they're famous, so privacy doesn't exist.
Yeah, no, they chose to be famous, so privacy.
Yeah. They chose the fame. They didn't choose to just drive cars for a living.
No.
They chose to be famous. So they chose
They're going
to
down a
have their privacy
slippery
invaded.
slope that could lead to a certain announcement over the week.
No, I'm lost with that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm lost with that one.
Which couple just broke up? or did or didn't break up? Actually, at the end of all that.
Very
Right.
confused. That announcement was deleted so fast.
Yeah, if we want to talk privacy, then look at the fallout from that.
Yeah,
That's just psycho fans, in my opinion. Like, I don't want to sound rude, but I mean, with the minute that people's fans saw her with him, it was, she needs to die.
Moral of the story is people get into and out of relationships all the time.
Can I just say,
Don't know
this
why
is
it makes
why
news.
I
Really?
don't like, I could not imagine anything worse than being like a wag of anyone. Oh my goodness, a wag of anyone. You're in the public eye of that person. So many people are watching your every single move. It's
Personally,
actually,
I think
I
I would
don't-
love it, but that's just because I love to be a bitch.
yeah,
I don't get why it's so important to find out. Like, I get finding out background information on the drivers, whatever, but on their girlfriends and their wives,
yeah,
like, why does
relax
it
a bit.
matter where
Can we
Charlotte
make a new
grew
argument?
up, was born, where her grandpa was born? Why does that matter?
Can we make a new argument? So
Thumbs up
apparently
for that.
we watch for the drivers. Can we just say no? We watch for the wags. Can that be a new thing? If people dive into
would
their,
honestly-
their
Oh,
lives.
watched for Carmen.
Watching for what I watched the last race to see Carmen in the standing down from the podium, just looking at George. She was so proud.
Personally, I watch for Sophie, Max's mum. It's always a good day when she's there. I love
Yeah.
her. I
And,
love her
like,
so much.
when it comes to famous people's relationships, if you do or do not cheat on someone, I'm not saying they do, but if you do, you don't need to post it all over social media. Like, karma will just come back and bite them. You don't need to
Literally.
put it everywhere.
But also, so
Like-
what I found out, just gonna like spill a little tea here on what I found out. The messages that were sent in that are supposedly real, whatever, were sent to pretty much the Dutch equivalent of Gossip Girl. So it was pretty much a gossip website. They were sent into like this Dutch gossip website, and in that website, they contacted Lando and his lovely Louisa, and were like trying to see if it was true. And then they realized that, oh, these have been sent to us anonymously. We're just going to post them because we have the right to post it.
As they do.
So they posted it, and then the whole thing went out. But yeah, no, it was pretty much sent. That whole Instagram is an Instagram for a Dutch gossip website that, from what I've been able to figure out, is the equivalent of like Gossip Girl. where they just
Doesn't that
post
account
it.
have an entire story highlight dedicated to mental health, and yet they're out here spreading gossip?
Literally. But then again, hey, McLaren, one of their main sponsors is a mental health charity, and they treat any driver.
What about Lando's
Like
friends in one of the last races mocking Daniel Ricciardo and how he's struggling?
saw
Meanwhile,
that.
your best friend is an advocate for mental health. Like,
What?
Totally-
I didn't hear about that.
Is he?
It was
though?
on like Nearin's
yeah.
podcast or something
Yeah.
like that. Like,
I can't remember what their thing is called.
yeah, I can't remember either, but I saw it
Oh
on
my
TikTok
God.
very briefly.
Oh, what
no,
about the
as long-
F1 TV directors when they were talking about Daniel Put struggling again?
Struggling again.
Oh
Can I
my
just
God,
say
yeah.
that the commentators last weekend, like the commentators I find always are very like, they're always focused on the British drivers. But
Yeah.
they were on a whole new level last weekend, I think.
I
Like
wouldn't know. I was half asleep or asleep for most of it.
they were just like,
George Russell this, Lando Norris that, what's it called? Lewis
Did
Hamilton.
you go to say
is-
Lando Russell?
I was actually.
No,
gonna
like
say
they were.
Lando
I just feel like
Lando
I
Lewis.
wasn't like paying like a lot of attention when I was watching it, but I feel like it was that every time I would start listening, they were just talking about Lewis. I was like, I feel like have I even heard them say like half the drivers' names?
Well, it's
like,
because
I
finally
think
they
it's
got a
because-
reason to be excited about Lewis in a race.
yeah, I guess.
I was just, I think because Lewis was finally actually doing well for the first time this season. Like the first time this season he was leading, he only led for like 1 or 2 laps, whereas this time he was actually leading. But what was I going to say? Oh no, about F1 and they're like little like thingies on the screen when they said struggling again about Daniel. Their like slander on the screen used to be so good. It used to be so funny. It would like take the piss out of like running jokes that were happening in the moment. That was just straight up, just in my opinion, just rude. Like it was.
Yeah, there was no need.
I was like,
as Daniel Ricciardo said, his skin is tanned and thick, and he doesn't need anyone
got millions
else.
of dollars for it.
But you can tell it's taking its toll on him. Like he can say that as much as he wants, but that smile is fading.
Absolutely.
He may say the smile is never fake, but there has definitely been a couple of fake ones.
Yeah.
What got me about Danny was in McLaren's latest video of them painting in McLaren's latest video, he had a like clogged nose, and I couldn't tell whether he had been crying. I couldn't tell whether he had been crying or whether he had like hay fever or was sick, but he looked and sounded like he had been crying. Like, you know, when you've got that sniffly, stuffy nose and you're just trying to like play it off.
Yeah.
That's what he sounded like. And I was like, not today.
Not
today.
Bring back happy Danny Ric. It was like, you know how like kind of not like after Sochi last season, like Lando was just like so sad that like in every
but look
race.
at all the support he got.
Yeah.
Look at what the advocating the team did for him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Danny.
No, but then again, McLaren is Lando's team.
Yeah.
Who got them their only win in the last 10 years.
I bet Zach regrets that tattoo right about now.
I hope it burns like Harry Potter's scar.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're going on a tangent and we're going to get ourselves in trouble here.
Correct. That concludes today's episode. Next week, we're going to have a special episode, which is going to include like a little double header from Sam, Zoe, and Lucy. Lucy will be talking about her trip to Silverstone, and Sam and Zoe will be talking about their trip to
I didn't know we were flying Lucy out.
Yeah, Lucy's actually coming.
See you there, guys.
Yeah.
Leaving tomorrow. Bringing the COVID with me, guys.
So stay tuned for that. That will be coming in the week break. And we hope you enjoy it. Once again, thank you. Thank you guys for your support. And we are forever grateful. And we love you all so much. And we hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy the Monza magic. Bye.
Hopefully Danny Ric doesn't do
Bye. Bye.